What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel where I teach you everything you need to know about accounting, audit, personal finance, the CPA lifestyle, and everything in between. If that sounds awesome to you, make sure to hit that subscribe button below, and welcome to the accounting channel. All right, guys, today we have a very interesting topic. And as you all know, as I talk about public accounting a lot on this channel, public accounting within itself can be really tough, really time consuming, really demanding, and it can be very difficult to manage things outside of your public accounting career. And today I'm going to be talking about a really interesting topic, and that is dating and public accounting. I was in public accounting for a little over 7-8 years, and I can tell you guys from personal experience that I experienced a lot in those 8 years, and I had multiple relationships during this time that none of which actually worked out, which is funny why I'm making this video. But hopefully you can learn from the experiences that I had with my, I guess, intimate relationships, and you can understand and hopefully apply to maybe you're in one, maybe you're looking to get into a relationship, because obviously there is a life outside of work, right? And we have our relationships that we have, and hopefully you can take from this video certain lessons that I learned in my career and certain things that you can maybe start implementing in your relationships outside of public accounting, or implement, on your future relationships. So the first thing, and there's really 5 key things that I want you to take away from this video. So the first thing is you need to set expectations. You especially, and I feel like in the relationship that I had when I had just started in public accounting, one thing that I didn't necessarily do right, and maybe it's because, I didn't have this great channel to reference to, but, when I was in public accounting and I started, I didn't really understand or really comprehend or grasp the amount of time that was going to be taken to complete certain audits, especially during busy season. And mind you too, I'm kind of a workaholic at heart, so it kind of went hand in hand. Like the more I was given, the more I wanted to do, and the more I wanted to learn. So that was within itself, kind of like, it was kind of like it was like a match made in heaven, me in public accounting. It sounds weird, but I didn't set expectations with my partner. I didn't let her know, like, hey, Monday through Friday, this is what I do. I work, and potentially, especially during busy season, there's 55, 60, 65 hour minimum work hours you need to meet, depending on what firm you're at. And I don't feel like I really communicated with my partner at the time the amount of time that I was going to be working and needing to complete certain requirements of me at the firm. And that within itself, I would and even not only my intimate relationships, but my personal relationships, I would make plans with friends like during the week. But I already knew, and maybe this sounds like really bad, but I would make plans with friends during the week, but I would never make it because, I had to work. And then what ends up happening is I would make plans with my friends or with my partner or with whoever, and I would end up canceling or bailing on them. And they would end up being more upset with me if I would have just told them up front and said, hey, look, I'm working from X time to X time. I just don't have the time right now. Let's maybe try to hang out on Saturday night or Sunday night. I think if you set expectations from the get-go and sit down with your partner or whoever and let them know, hey, look, I'm about to go into a very, very, very busy time in my life, and I hope and I would appreciate if you can help me along this journey, add less stress to my life, help me with certain things that I'm going to need help with because I'm so busy working. And hopefully you can understand that I'm doing this for the betterment of myself, my career, and if we have a future, us together. Because you investing in yourself is the best thing you can do. And I know I kind of say this all the time on this channel, but as much as public accounting takes time to do and learn and develop yourself, especially those first few years, as much as the firm takes from you, you need to take from the firm. And what I mean by that is that you need to develop yourself. You need to build the skills necessary to be able to, if maybe public accounting isn't for you long term, you need to build the skills necessary to be able to venture out into, maybe you want to start your own business, maybe you want to go work for another company, whatever the case may be. You need to build those skills, and you need to set expectations with your partner and let them know right away, hey, look, I'm in public accounting. It's a very weird lifestyle, but it is what it is. And maybe this isn't for me long term, but this is what I need to do right now in order to develop myself. And I hope you can help me along my own professional development journey. And if you can't, well, honestly, cut her to the side. No, okay, don't cut her to the side, but you get what I mean. Hopefully if your partner doesn't understand, then believe me when I tell you, if they don't get it from the beginning, they're never going to get it. Because this is just what it is and what it takes. And, unfortunately, some people don't. And I have been in relationships where they just didn't understand what I was living, or it's like, wait, what do you mean you're working at 7 or 8, or what do you mean you have to send an email at 10 p.m. or whatever the case may be. I'm not saying that's necessarily the right thing, but sometimes you're in a client service industry, so that's why public accounting can be really tough, because sometimes you have client demands or client deadlines, and they require you to work certain hours that I guess normal jobs wouldn't require of people. So that's why it's a little bit hard, and there's a disconnect between people that are in public accounting and people that are out. So just make sure you set expectations from the get-go, and you let them know exactly what you and as a unit together as a relationship, what you're getting yourself into. Boundaries with your time. Okay, this kind of goes hand in hand too, and this is one thing that I wish I would have maybe practiced more in my public accounting career. I had no boundaries whatsoever. It was either work or nothing. I was always working, and I'll be honest with you, not that I regret it. I do regret certain aspects of it, of maybe canceling on certain people or maybe choosing work over everything. I feel like sometimes I had an unhealthy relationship with my job, and that was not, my firm's fault. That was more me, because that's just the type of person I am. I would say I'm definitely more of a workaholic at heart. It's already, 7:30 p.m. and I've literally been I've worked out this morning, I freaking worked all day, and now it's 7:30 and I'm still go. But that's just who I am. But I think boundaries with your time is really critical and important. Obviously, again, you need to understand and you need to balance the fact that you are in a client service industry. That being said, with enough scheduled time ahead, or letting whoever your direct boss is, whether senior manager, whoever, as long as you let them know, hey, look, I have this wedding planned, or hey, I plan to me and my girlfriend, we're gonna go, or boyfriend, we're gonna hang out on Friday at 6 p.m. I need to leave at 4 just to be there on time, but I'll definitely finish the work off later. And one thing that I absolutely loved about public accounting was the flexibility that you had, and by that I mean there's not necessarily set working hours you have to work, as far as you have to be in the office at 9 and leave at 5 or leave at 7 or whatever. You're assessed, essentially you're judged or graded on the fact that, are you able to get the work done? When that work gets done, it doesn't matter. As long as you get it done by the set time that you were assigned, it really, I would always say this to my teams when I was leading, audits. It's if you guys have plans on a Friday or Saturday or whatever, or if you guys, we needed to work on the weekends, I never forced my team to either work on Saturday or Sunday. On Friday, I would get with them and say, hey, look, you have, X things to do before Monday morning when we get in the office. This needs to be done. I don't care when you do it. You can do it on Saturday morning, or you can do it on Saturday night, or you can do it on Sunday morning. Whenever you want to do it, you can do it. Just make sure it gets done. So that's one good thing about public accounting that I really like. But that being said too, just have boundaries with your time, because especially, this goes with any job you're ever going to have. Trust me, I know. I've worked, now public accounting in a different company, but more often than not, the reward for getting your work done is while you're working on the project is just more work. So I'm not saying, take less time on it or take more time, or I'm just telling you that just have boundaries with your time, because if you work on something all day and night, you're just going to get more work and more work and more work. And I'm not saying to not be, the best you can be, but obviously have boundaries too. If maybe your boundaries are making sure that you are, you have dinner with your girlfriend on Friday nights and that's your thing, then you keep that and you make sure that you communicate with whoever you're working with, and communication is key. Make sure you communicate with them. Hey, look, this is really important to me and my partner. This is the time that we both have together. Or maybe it's a Wednesday. Who knows? Maybe it's one day. Just make sure you communicate that, because honestly, I think communication goes a long way. So just make sure you have boundaries with your time, because especially in public accounting, there's always another work paper you can do, another client you can work on, another proposal you can do. There's always something going on, especially in public accounting. So just make sure you have boundaries with your time. The third thing that I think you need to keep in mind when you're dating and living this public accounting lifestyle is that your partner needs to have their own kind of goals, ambitions, and what they want to do. And why I say that is because you're going to be gone a lot of the time. And if their sole purpose is to make you happy, that's going to be a very, very, very miserable existence. Trust me. I dated a girl one time where, she didn't really she wasn't really working, kind of. Obviously, I was much younger, right? So I didn't have the best. Oh, this is so bad. I didn't have the best judge of who I was seeing, but whatever. I was seeing this young lady, and she it was just it. She didn't really have much going on outside of our relationship. I mean, she would go to the gym and whatever, but she didn't really have her own goals and ambitions and her own kind of life. And I feel like that's when you're really gonna butt heads. And in my experience, if they don't have their own goals, maybe it's they're whatever they want to do. Maybe they want to make clay, or I don't know, whatever the hell they want to do. Whatever your partner has going on, make sure they have their own goals, their own life, their own ambitions, because that's going to really help you in the long run in the relationship. Because if you guys both don't have your own goals, and at the end of the day you kind of somehow meet together cohesively to build a strong unit, if her sole purpose is to just kind of wait for you to come home from work, that's not going to work out. And honestly, this could be even being the best, homemaker, regardless if it's man or woman, whatever, being the best provider at home, or being the best, I don't know, artist, or whatever it is. Your partner needs to have their own life outside of you, and their own individuality, and their own perspective, and their own interests and hobbies, because within itself, you guys will be able to just be a better cohesive unit together when there is time for you guys to just both be immersed within the relationship, and you guys can really grow in that way. The fourth thing you need to do, if they complain early on about your work schedule and your work hours, it's not going to work out. It's just not going to work out. You need to understand that in living the public accounting lifestyle, you're just not a 9-to-5 guy or girl. You're just not. It's just not what it entails. That's not what the job is. And again, you need to know that going into it. And if they don't understand early on, I have this saying, the way it starts is the way it ends. And I'll be honest with you, in my experience, dating multiple people and living and kind of grow my career, if they didn't really understand my work hours at the beginning, seldomly did they ever change the way they thought about my work hours and what I did, and they ended up resenting me more, and we ended up just kind of butting heads and hating each other, which we really never needed to. Because if they didn't really understand, if I should have picked up the signals early on and thought, hey, if they're not understanding my work hours now, what makes me think they're going to change 3, 6, 9, 12 months from now? Again, I'm not saying to just completely leave the relationship, but that being said, you need to really assess and say, hey, take a step back and analyze, hey, this has been going on for 2 months. She's constantly asked, every time I'm telling her I need to work, or I'm telling him I need to work, I'm getting hounded, I'm getting, whatever, cussed at or whatever, or they're just being really mean or rude to me instead of supporting me. Yeah, that's a really bad sign. Trust me when I tell you, if they don't understand the lifestyle that you chose for this period of time, whether it's a year, 2, 3, 5, 20, then I don't see it changing unless you have a sit down and you say, this is what I do, this is my life for the next year, 2, whatever. If you can't understand that, then maybe it's better that we part ways. So that's really key critical thing, is that if they complain early on, it's probably not going to work. And the last thing, and maybe I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, and maybe it's not the healthiest thing to do, but do not, I've seen it happen so many times. The fifth thing and final, and probably in my opinion, probably the most critical, and obviously, I'm a dude, so I can relate more to men on this one, but do not give up your career for a relationship. I've seen it happen a lot of times where people end up giving up their hopes and dreams for a relationship, and not only do they end up less happy because they gave up something they really wanted to do and grow in, but then they end up resenting their partner, because every time they see their partner, they look at it as a reflection of everything that they could have done and they didn't. If the relationship is not helping you become a better person, helping you achieve your personal and professional goals, and it's not moving you in the direction you want to personally, because you need to be an individual aside from the relationship, if that's not going on, then do not, and I repeat, do not. I've seen it happen so many times, and it's so sad. Do not give up your personal and professional goals for a relationship. Because if the relationship is really that worth it and your partner is really there for you, they're going to understand whatever the case may be, whatever hours you need to work, they're going to be there and help you and guide you and be your rock, whether it's male or female, whatever the case may be. They're going to be your rock to help you get through whatever career aspirations you have, whatever hard days at work you're going to have, because you will have hard days at work. That is no doubt in my mind. There's going to be some tough days, and they're going to help you get through that. And instead of being a blessing, they're going to be a curse. And if you end up giving your goals if you end up giving up on your goals and dreams for a relationship that potentially could fizzle out or not work out, not only you're going to resent yourself, you're going to resent your partner, and that's not fair to either of you. So hopefully that video helped you guys manage, dating and public accounting. It can be very difficult to do the two, but I firmly believe implementing these 5 steps can really help you go in the right direction. And there's no perfect way to manage your, relationships outside of your professional life. But I feel like as long as you set expectations, you know exactly what you want, and your partner knows what type of person that they're getting involved with, and you're both on the same page as far as what you both want, I don't see things not working out in your favor. All right, guys, that's going to be it for the video today. If you found value in the video, please make sure to hit the like button below. And also, guys, don't forget to add me on any social media platform you use. Until next time, work hard, dress well, peace.